The next contest. Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose with Vicky Guerrero for the women's prestigious AEW Women's Championship. I guess. Because I invoked one of the rules. You know what rule it was?
No, which one?
The long show rule. Because this is what this was turning into. And I fast-forwarded this to the finish, which was enough for me. Brian, is there anything in the match that I missed that I should have seen had I been interested?
Well, funny enough, I invoked a similar rule, which was, I don't care about this match or this division. I'm not going to force myself to watch something I completely don't care about. I went to the finish, and then the Vicky Guerrero screaming at Nyla Rose and leaving her there dejected as she walks off.
We'll get to that, because the finish was something to write home about. And let me see if I saw what you saw, and then you can say if you saw what you saw. Say, what's your sister's name? Sue? What does Sue do?
What?
She sews. She sews? See. My sister Sue, she sews. See. Ed Sullivan. What the fuck? Anyway. So you can tell who's running this women's division, folks.
Ed Sullivan.
No. Although Ed Sullivan would have booked Twinkle Toes McFingerbang to do his ballet dancing, prissy prancing, and gesticulating on the Ed Sullivan Variety Show. But, the Japanese schoolgirl. After this long-ass match that apparently went about 10, 15 minutes.
Well, let's be fair. She's not a schoolgirl.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Nyla Rose is a 230-pound, Native American beast? And this girl is half her size. So,
yeah, but that doesn't mean she's a schoolgirl.
Okay. So
Rhonda Singh was 500 pounds. That didn't mean Medusa was a schoolgirl.
For heaven's sake.
Maybe not.
I
500.
don't even know. I don't know. I think you need to work on that analogy.
Maybe not 500 pounds, but
I would work on Rhonda Singh's weight, and I'd work on what Medusa Michelli looks like standing next to Hikaru Shida. But I digress. The young Japanese girl who weighs 120 pounds superplexed the 230-pound opponent off the top rope, had her covered, and then pulled her up at the 2 count to beat on her some more. Did I see that correctly?
Oh, yeah, you did.
Okay, then Shida hits the ropes. Vicky Guerrero goes to trip her, but misses her leg, and Shida goes down anyway. Then turns around and looks perplexed, gets out on the apron. Nyla Rose knocks Shida to the floor, grabs Shida. Oh, at first Vicky gets a kendo stick and referee takes it away from her. And then somewhere or another, Shida pushes Rose into Vicky Guerrero. Vicky goes down. Shida throws Nyla Rose in the ring and tosses her around like a sack of shit, picks her up and slams her down a couple of times. Am I seeing this correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. A shitty suplex and a 2 count. Then a knee lift and a 2 count. Then she just stood there and hit her with 5 old shitty knees. Boom, boom, boom. And then just fell on top of her. 1, 2, 3. What the fuck? Thanks for coming, Nyla. You're fucking done.
I don't even think the finish was as bad for her as the angle afterwards.
Well, wait, I'm not there yet. The superplex couldn't be the finish where this girl, all or nothing, Hail Mary, got this giant beast up off the top rope and superplexed her. It could have covered her 1, 2, 3 because she's going to win anyway. But instead, they did get up and it pulls her up like a job guy or job girl. Goes to beat on her some more. She almost gets fucked by the manager. There's a clusterfuck out on the floor that looks like shit. Then she just rolls Nyla Rose back in and just hits her with a few things, none of which looked nearly as good as the superplex. Nyla Rose has no answer for any of this, no comeback whatsoever, is just sitting there getting her head kneed in, and then she just falls on top of her 1, 2, 3. And that was a preferable finish to beat her with the superplex off the top rope. But somebody's going to say, oh, but they had to do a spot in the finish with Vicky and Nyla. Well, then do it before the fucking superplex. You're making this shit up. Lunatics. So then, as Shida, we ought to call it, since she does a shitty suplex, we ought to call it, Shida should be like the proprietor on South Park of Shitty Walk. You have my shitty Mongolian beef, my shitty chicken, my shitty pork. She's got her shitty suplex. And then Shida walked on off. And then Vicky Guerrero's cutting a promo on Nyla, screaming at her. So, of course, the announcers lay out and they turn the ring mics up level so that you can hear the screaming and yelling, so that when Vicky screams at Nyla, Nyla screams back, slap me. And she does. Vicky does. Bam. And then she walks off and leaves Nyla standing there. So this 230-pound Native American beast was beaten like a dog by a girl half her size, just beaten flat in the middle of the ring after fucking up and hurting her manager. Then her manager berates her. Then she tells her manager out loud to slap her in the face, which her manager does, and then walks off on her and leaves Nyla standing there with a dejected look on her face. Why didn't they just piss on old Nyla Rose while she was out there? The fuck? Your closing thoughts?
I got nothing else I could add to that.
Okay.